Have you tried to form some new habits and unable to continue them? Or you tried some new projects but you were not able to finish and you kept jumping to new projects? Well, I have been there, and I know millions of us have been in that place. We start new projects, we start something new because we feel that that's the right thing to do for now, and then after a few weeks or a few months we quit because we are not sure whether that's meant for us, or we find something new and that seems to be a better option than this, and we quit this and we jump onto that. So usually we kind of come up with an excuse, or we find a reason to not do it or not continue that. Or sometimes there are things happening around us. Maybe you fall sick, or your cat fell sick, and suddenly you just think things are not going okay, and you quit that habit or you quit that project, and you find yourself in a place where you have to choose something else. So this happens for many of us, and I know there are people who have tried multiple things and unable to continue with projects. I myself have struggled for years. I have been a serial quitter. I quit on many projects and I was not able to continue the momentum, and I would just quit after a few weeks or a few months, and I would just jump onto the next one. I know sometimes you would think that you have to stick to a habit no matter what, but the thing is, there comes a point in your life where you have to make certain choices. It is not just enough to just act on motivation, or because you started something, you do something out of repetition and you keep repeating the same things. There comes a point where you have to make certain choices, especially when it comes to forming new habits or a new routine, or bringing in some new projects into your life. Sometimes you may have to postpone things, or sometimes things don't work out for you for a reason. And for people like that, especially for me, something that I figured out because I quit so many things is I wasn't motivated to continue with that because it wasn't meaningful to me. So I had to quit those things, and I kept jumping to new things. But eventually this is what I started figuring out for myself, and if you are kind of like me, you might understand that too. Rather than just acting on motivation, I needed to be inspired to act. So that's where many of us get to at certain point in our lives, especially if you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s. Just mere motivation is not enough, because you have done your part in your life where you have tried things, you have figured out few things for your life, and you are in a point in your life where it's not just motivation, you need to be inspired. So rather than having a resolution, a New Year resolution, or something just doing for the sake of doing it, you need to be able to connect to your ideal vision for your life. What are your dreams? What are your desires? What is your long-term plan? What do you want to accomplish in your life? When you find that place in you, and when you start figuring out who you are, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What am I good at? And what am I not so good at? So these things take some time. It takes some trial and error, and probably you have reached that place in your life where you start understanding, okay, this is who I am, and this is what I want, and this is where my life should go to. So if you are in that place, rather than just starting a new habit or just starting a new project, make sure that that project or whatever you're trying to accomplish is more aligned with your long-term vision, and every time you think of that, you're inspired to act. So when you are able to find that place which gives you so much inspiration rather than just motivation, because motivation constantly needs that external stimulation. Either you have to listen to music, or you have to keep following certain patterns to keep yourself motivated. But inspiration is something that comes from within you. When you find that place in you, you will be more inspired to act, and you will continue the things that are meaningful to you. Not because it's a habit, but because you set the intention and you're conscious about how to get there, what will get me the results that I want. So before you start a new habit or a new project, make sure it is aligned with who you are, and make sure it is aligned with your long-term vision for your life, so that you don't have to rely on just motivation, because motivation some days you may not have that, and when you are more inspired to act, you are likely to continue that and you are likely to finish that project. So keep this in mind. So you don't have to worry about what happened in the past, and the more and more you're inspired, you will connect to that place that makes you come alive, and you will definitely finish those projects, and you will also continue that momentum throughout in your life, and you don't have to rely on any external motivation, because you are going to rely on your own inner guidance and you'll be inspired to act on that.